Welcome everyone to 2025, as well as welcome to this webinar. I'll just give a moment or two for everyone to join before I start with the session fully. But hopefully you're all feeling good today. You're all feeling positive about 2025. And hopefully you've not got too snowed in. I've had Lord of last week snowed in, but that's the disadvantage living in the country. By introducing myself, my name's Tracy Schuff. I'm a career coach at Fourth Rev. I've been a career and an executive coach for about 15 years or so now. And I've helped hundreds of individuals identify careers that they love and then excel in those careers. So hopefully I'll be bringing a bit of that knowledge to today's session. I've been at Fourth Rev for about 3 years now, so I've worked across all of the career accelerators, including the digital marketing one. So this session is about providing you with clarity and actionable strategies to help grow your career in digital marketing. I'm going to be taking a coaching approach, is my style, to reinforce why coaching is so critical to the Career Accelerator product. So we're going to look at what's holding you back, or what potentially could be holding you back, and give you some tips and techniques of how to overcome those barriers. We'll look at the trends that are shaping marketing careers in 2025. It's a ever-evolving market at the moment. We'll look at the skills that you might need to help you move from tactical to more strategic roles. And we're also going to look at a roadmap of success to help you build your career as a digital marketer. And then we'll look at the LSE Digital Marketing Strategy and Analytics Career Accelerator and how that might be able to help you achieve your goals. If you have any questions during the session, can you please post them in the Q&A? We'd absolutely love to hear your questions. We don't want to lose them. So if you put them in the Q&A, that would be fantastic. Also, if you've got any general comments, then please join in the chat. It's always great to hear from you in terms of comments on what we're talking about, anything you can add, as well as your questions. So we'd love to hear from you, both in the chat and the Q&A. Start by introducing the panel. So we have a diverse panel for you today, and I'm going to ask them all to introduce themselves individually. So I'm going to start with you, Andy. Could you introduce yourself?
I'd be happy to, and I'm honored to be here. My name is Andy Crestadina. I'm one of the co-founders of Orbit Media Studios, which is a web development and website optimization company here in Chicago. This is year 25. I started all of this before there was real training. You're all very lucky because there was no training programs, mostly in digital marketing. We're all self-taught in my generation. And I have 55 employees, and I talk to candidates all the time, and I help people position themselves. I also teach at Northwestern University, as well as Harbor Space, which is a private university in Barcelona. So I'm happy to offer a perspective and glad to be here.
Well, thank you, Andy. Jenna?
Hey, thanks, Tracy. Yeah, great to be here as well. Nice to meet you all. Yeah, so I am Jenna Tiffany. I run a smaller marketing agency to Andy, and we have a small team of 10 across the UK and Europe, and we work with a lot of different organizations, everything focused on marketing strategy, all starting from that area and then progressing through all the digital marketing channels and creating campaigns. Aside from that, I am a chartered marketeer. I'm also a qualified teacher, and I help to develop the digital marketing career accelerator that we're talking about today. And the reason why I got involved in helping Fourth Rev with the development of their LSE program was actually because I wish I had something more practical when I was at university, much to Andy's point there. You know, being given huge textbooks to read and try and digest is a really difficult way of learning digital marketing. And it always stands out in my mind that the lectures and the projects that I remember are the ones that really were very practical, the ones that were real life. And we were lucky enough to work with a company at the university and create a marketing strategy for them and a marketing campaign as part of our degree. And that was the best part of the 3 years. And that was one single project. So that's kind of my passion. And that's how I got involved in this program, which I also helped teach as well.
Thanks, Jenna. Yeah, and that practical nature is so important, and we will be talking about that later. Thank you. Mohammed, could you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Mohammed Hakim from Beirut, Lebanon, in the Middle East. I have joined LSE for Thrive Career Accelerator program last February. I'm a communication officer with over a decade of experience in social media management and digital media. I'm excited to be here and to share parts of my journey and insights with you today. Thank you.
Thanks, Mohammed. And last but certainly not least, Shahana.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Shahana. I am the enrollment advisor with the LSE team at Thrive. So I'm the person that you'll be speaking to when you want to, inquire more about the program. I will really answer your questions and we discuss your personalized career goals and how we can help you achieve them, really. So thank you for joining today, and I look forward to speaking with you all later.
Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. And you'll be hearing more from the panel as we go through. With thinking about different ways where you might be feeling stuck. And it's quite natural to feel stuck in your career. It's something as a career coach I come across all the time. I think particularly in marketing, because the landscape is evolving so quickly. So some of these challenges could resonate with some of you. And our goal today is to help you realise that feeling stuck doesn't have to be forever. There are ways of helping you become unstuck. Again, one of my roles as a career coach, and identify what it is that you want to do next with steps to get there. Start with feeling limited in your current role. So an awful lot of professionals, 64% of professionals feel they lack the opportunity for growth in their current position. That's quite an incredible figure. 2/3 of people feel they lack the opportunity for growth. And I know many of the learners join the Career Accelerator program to either launch a new marketing career or advance in the career that they're in now. And the career offers lots of different pathways for specialisation and leadership opportunities. And that's one of the reasons why they're joining the Career Accelerator. So I'm going to ask you all to think about whether you see growth opportunities in the role that you're currently in, or maybe you're feeling stagnant. So just reflect on that. Second reason why you might feel stuck is struggling to keep up to date with artificial intelligence and analytics. And 85% of marketing leaders say that AI and analytics are critical, and yet many of them feel unprepared to know how to use them effectively. And this is one of the reasons why we focused on analytics and AI in our Career Accelerator program. I can think of one graduate, Sophia, who enrolled in the accelerator because she wanted to change from recruitment to marketing, which she did achieve, I'm pleased to say, after graduating from the program. And she came onto the program with absolutely no data experience at all. And when she started in a new marketing role, she immediately needed that data knowledge. And thanks to the program, she had the skills and knowledge to be able to do that. The other thing we do is we have a dedicated AI learning track within the Career Accelerator, which we'll speak more about later. I'm going to encourage you all to think about data and AI and think about whether you feel confident in using it to drive decisions in the work that you do. The third reason why you might feel stuck is about uncertainty, about transitioning into a much more strategic role. 74% of marketers say that transition from an executional to a strategic role is their biggest career challenge. And it's certainly conversations that we career coaches have all the time. Mohammed, I believe you joined the programme because you were looking to take the next step in your career by gaining those strategic leadership skills and drive marketing teams. Can you tell us a bit more about your decision to enrol, please?
Yes, exactly. I've been like 10 plus more years working in digital media, NGO. I'm still working in an NGO. After a while, I recognized that there is something that is missing in my career, and I really felt in a point that of stagnation. I couldn't like advance in my current job. I couldn't like advance in other organizations. So I felt the need more to expand my experience and my expertise in the line of my work. So I decided to take a bold step to reignite my career path after around 15 years. And I found that LSE for Thrive program attracted me because it's promised exactly the transition that I was looking for. It was a turning point. The courses equipped me with a cutting-edge digital marketing and analytics skills that made me more confident in my approach. For me, this program, I was also searching for other elsewhere on such learning path. But for me, this program is unique in its approach. On one side, it gave me all the theoretical aspects of modern digital marketing, including AI, with all the frameworks that are part of this part of digital marketing. And the course, they all were presented in the course. And on the other side, the real world case scenarios, especially with the last course, course 4, with the employers project, where I dealt with a real company, in my case, an online tutoring platform. It has really helped me bridge the gap that I felt deep inside between my communication background and modern digital marketing requirements. The Career Accelerated has allowed me to transition to this and to look for a more strategic role. And also I had like ambitions to take over a leading role and giving like storytelling in a storytelling way. And it impacted me hugely, and to build a future-proof career in digital marketing and analytics.
Thanks, Mohammed. Oh, absolutely. Sorry, press the wrong button. And I think what you said there, absolutely. I think the couple of things is that, echoing Jenna's point about the theoretical and practical, it's both are really important in the accelerator. But also, you talked about confidence. We will talk about imposter syndrome a little bit later, but it's getting the confidence to believe you can do these things that's really important, and through coaching and the accelerator that can really help. Just excuse me 1 second, I've just clicked on the wrong thing on my screen. I'll just click it down. So I'm going to encourage you all, if we're talking about that moving to more strategic role, to think about what a strategic role would look like for you, but also think about what holds you back from getting there. So of all the challenges, the 3 challenges that we've looked at, think about which resonates most with your current career situation. Do you think your skills need updating? Are you unsure about how to move into that strategic role? Sort of take a moment just to reflect on that. So now that we've identified the common barriers, let's look at the exciting trends that are currently reshaping marketing careers and creating opportunities for growth. Because digital marketing is definitely changing. It's shifting rapidly, and staying ahead means really embracing these changes strategically. So let's look at those trends that are reshaping the field and explore how you can leverage them for growth. So AI and automation are transforming personalization. 89% of marketers say that artificial intelligence tools have improved personalization in their campaigns, driving a 3 times higher engagement. Think about a retail brand like Amazon, who uses AI-driven email campaigns to tailor their offers to individual shopping behaviours. It's become an absolute game changer. So artificial intelligence isn't just about automation, it's about scaling your ability to connect with audiences personally and meaningfully. Data analytics helps, or analytics generally, helps turn data into actionable insights. Marketers using analytics tools see a 20% improvement in return on investment by optimizing their campaigns in real time. Data analytics helps you see what's working for you and what's not in real time. It's like having a roadmap for success. So think of a campaign may have been involved with that wasn't performing. With analytics, a marketer can adjust marketing midway, saving on budget and improving conversion rates. So do you feel confident in interpreting data to make informed decisions, or do you think analytics could improve the impact that you have? And finally, let's look at privacy. Privacy-first marketing builds trust and compliance. 72% of consumers say they're much more likely to engage with brands that prioritise data privacy. And in today's world, trust is currency. Consumers expect transparency, and marketers who prioritise privacy are actually leading the way. Think about Apple's recent privacy changes. Brands are rethinking how they collect and use customer data. So again, I'm going to ask you to reflect to see how you ensure that your marketing is both innovative but also privacy compliant. To look at the skills that every marketer needs in the world now, the world of marketing now. So marketing leaders of tomorrow are strategic thinkers who can harness the power of AI and analytics and that privacy-first practice. So let's think about and unpack these skills and see how they contribute to thriving in a competitive marketplace. First of all, let's think about AI. AI isn't replacing creativity, it's amplifying it by handling repetitive tasks, freeing you up for strategic decisions. Jenna or Andy, what advice would you give to someone starting with AI in their marketing workflow?
Go for it, Andy.
Well, I think AI and analytics actually have a lot in common in their utility, which is actually going to help you move up into more strategic roles or do more strategic thinking by helping you basically just answer questions. I think that there are millions of marketing meetings all over the world, many of which are probably happening as we speak, where it's really just people offering opinions about what they think might work or what their preferences are. Or I like it when what marketing needs is data, and to think of every marketing idea as in fact hypotheses. So every marketing idea really is just should be tested and tried, and that's what the data is for. So as soon as you add analytics to your skills, you're the person in the meeting who's bringing that bigger perspective about, this is what we're doing here is trying to affect an outcome. AI is actually very similar. A lot of people use AI for writing. I understand that, but there are many other powerful use cases, including analysis. Give AI a homepage and ask what's missing from it. Give AI an analytics report and ask what insights you can find. AI is really an excellent strategic assistant that you can give almost anything to. Give it a campaign, download an ad, just show it things, and say, what's missing from this based on the persona. Of course, you must first train it on the persona, who you're talking to, your target audience. So all these things, I would encourage everyone to keep experimenting. with analytics and AI. Use them with purpose, look for answers, and then bring those answers to meetings. You'll end up becoming a more strategic resource, inevitably, like in that moment, but in the long term, you're just the smart person in the room. So these dots connect well for me. Experiment and learn from analytics and AI as in the strategic kind of input, answer questions, find ideas. And then that will broaden your role and the value you bring to each meeting and in the long term to your company and ultimately to your career.
Sandy.
Jenna, I know you're thinking something. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a strategist
and
deep
was
down.
Like,
I got to hear this.
About I'm way too obvious. Sorry, I have a rubbish poker face. Yeah, no, I was just gonna echo what Andy was saying, that to test and learn. I think just from listening and speaking to the current cohort that's going through the CA program, being a little bit nervous about experimenting with AI is something I've seen quite a bit, actually, with a lot of the learners taking the course, and just marketers in general, a little bit afraid of using and testing something that they're not sure how to use and test. So I wouldn't be too afraid to just test and learn. You're going to make mistakes with it. You might not get the outcome that you're expected, but that's how we learn with these tools. And now is a really great time to be learning how to use AI, how to create prompts that Andy talked about there, how to train AI on a persona, because those elements are very new to marketing. So you're coming in with the industry as we're learning, as we're going as well. The data piece definitely does help to really shed light on what is working, what isn't, but also from a strategy perspective, to continue to be curious, to ask the question of, okay, but why did we generate that result, and what caused that there, and okay, what would happen if we change this? Would we see this different result? Strategy is very much focused on being very curious and asking questions, and really being critical in the results that you're generating. So even if you then start to train the AI and you get some really great results coming back, which is awesome, and you get some great insights, the strategy piece then is to question, okay, but what is that actually telling me? And what would happen if I change something, or what do I do next as a result of seeing that analytics and getting those results from the AI as well? So that's the strategy piece that comes in. But please do test and learn, sign up for a free ChatGPT account and start creating your prompts, so you start to get a little bit more comfortable using the tools.
Jenna, and can either of you share a time when analytics made a real difference in a marketing project success?
I know Andy has a ton of ideas. I have one just off the top of my head, but one that actually really stands out in our agency that we always talk about with other clients as well. And this was pre-AI, but the results would still be the same, interestingly, but we probably would have got to the answer a lot quicker, because now we have the tools that can really help churn the numbers in a much quicker speed than traditionally. A lot of it we might have had to do much more manual processes. But we were working with a global retailer, and they had a huge email subscriber list. And on that list, they started to see that they were getting really low engagement rates, so low open rates, low click-through rates, not really generating much in terms of return on investment. And they'd seen this steady decline, but it was getting to a point where now it was becoming quite urgent to try and solve. And so they came to my agency and asked, okay, what's happening here? What do we need to do? And we looked at the sending data for the past 10 years, and we started to see from the data that their subscribers were really, really enthusiastic to start with, and then that enthusiasm started to wane within the first 2 weeks. So we're like, okay, so you're getting a really high churn rate here in 2 weeks. So what are you sending in 2 weeks was our question. So then we started to see that every day they are sending emails that are very similar to the previous day, that don't include any personalization, going back to your point earlier, Tracy. And we could see over a 10-year period that everyday send was having such a huge knock-on impact to the overall retention rate, but their overall engagement rate of their subscribers. So immediately you can see from that, okay, you need to change your strategy. But the challenge there sometimes with the strategy is that, okay, we have the evidence, we have the data, that this might not be the most effective approach. And these are the steps you need to take to change it. But then sometimes it becomes a bit more of a leadership challenge in that you're trying to change a business process. And so this is where we start to see a bit of crossover from marketing, where we might have some influence on the wider business objectives and the ambitions and goals of the organization as a whole. And that's where we start to then go into those leadership roles that Tracy was talking about earlier. But it was really fascinating for us to see such a huge decline very quickly because the wrong strategy was at play. And if it wasn't for data, if it wasn't for us analysing the insights and having a look at that, we would never have discovered that. So from our side, it's a really great example, just as an agency when we're talking to clients, this is the impact that data can have. And sometimes it's just the simplest solution to something, but might make a whole business approach change as well.
Thanks, Jenna, and it really helps to bring everything alive when you talk about those examples, so appreciate that. Do you have something, Andy? Or lots,
Sure.
I gather, from Jenna?
I use analytics every day, never just to click around, but always to try to answer a question. One of the great values of this is to help you prioritize what actions to take. One of the problems in marketing is that you can do so many things. They all feel like marketing. Should I make a TikTok video? Should I rewrite a page? Should I send this email campaign? Should I set up an automation? All the millions of things we can do. Analytics is very helpful at helping you prioritize. So let's say you've got a website or an offer, or there's 5 services, or e-commerce with 100 products. Some of these pages, when visitors land, they are far, far more likely to become a lead or to buy. Which ones? It's invisible from the outside. But when you look at analytics, you can just go to the landing page report, scroll down, the key event rate. You don't even have to do any setup. Like just looking at that report will show you, I mean, assuming events are set up, conversions are set up. Look at that report and you'll see some of these landing pages have 10 times the likelihood that the visitor will take an action compared to others. Now you know exactly which of these pages merits an ad, or which of these pages should be better optimized for search, or which of these pages you should link to from your email signature, or promote on social media, or link to from blog posts, or all the other things. Until you know what your best mousetraps are, you don't really know where to put your cheese. It's very clear. In minutes, you can, less than 1 minute, just look at the report, and now you can prioritize your activities. And literally, some of the actions you can take have 100 times the impact to a business than others. Many of the things that marketers do have basically a 0 impact to business outcomes. So it's very incredible. I don't know how to do marketing without that knowledge. Which of these pages is the most likely to drive an outcome? Which of these clickable items on this homepage? What's the click-through rate of my calls to action? What's the most common place from which people exit this website? Which of my campaigns gets no results? Which of my campaigns gets great results? It's there. None of these questions are difficult to answer with, I mean, it takes maybe 4 clicks, I think, to answer any of those. So that's in any meeting, opinion versus opinion, the highest paid opinion wins. It's your boss. Opinion versus data, the data should win. So it's the impact of the business, the value to your career, your reputation. Bring data to a meeting, and you'll have a better meeting.
Brilliant, thanks, Andy. And I absolutely love that expression about if you don't know where the mousetraps are, how do you know where to put the cheese? I'm definitely going to use that one again. Pinch that one from you, Andy. Thank you. And let's move on to privacy. I mean, being a privacy-first marketer isn't just about legal requirement. It's how you earn your audience's trust. How have you seen brands navigating this shift successfully?
Well, not everyone cares. So our job is to help teach people that this is important, that it's a virtue, and that it's the right thing to do. Very similar, actually, in the psychology of the business owner, the brand. Very similar to accessibility. Hey, the web should be accessible to everybody. Hey, everyone has the right to privacy. These are just virtues. So really the privacy answer is just simply a technology one. Install a cookie consent tool and use your settings such that it allows people to not be tracked. Also, avoid creating personally identifiable information. You don't need anything on your server that identifies any human. There's no reason to have that. It just adds risk to your business. Someone fills out a form, they go into your CRM, right? That's a different, they're not in your analytics or in your WordPress database. So privacy is important. I think it's one of those areas of expertise that makes you more relevant in this context of careers. Really specializing and going deep and having lots of expertise in any of these areas will make most good for your career. Privacy, accessibility, mobile friendliness, analytics, AI, search optimization, conversion optimization, social strategy. And really, they say like be a T-shaped marketer where you know a little bit about everything, but go very deep into one or two topics. Privacy is a good one. It's a little legal for me. I'm glad to know enough, but there's a point of diminishing returns to the marketer where basically like it's a legal question.
Okay, thank you. Jenna?
Yeah, the privacy piece is an interesting one because we also had GDPR in the UK and the EU, and that was a big legislation, one of the biggest changes actually in marketing. And it has snowballed from there, but it is, Andy's right in what he's saying is that our purpose is to make sure that everybody cares. How we should look at data is that we're renting it, we don't own it. And so if the customer provides it to us, it's on a temporary basis that we're going to use it in the way that we've promised, and we've been clear on providing that when they've consented. But also that we are going to take precautions and we're going to store it. And if the customer then decides that they want to retract that data, they have the right to do so. And we should make that as simple as possible. And that, that is a piece for marketing because we should become and be able to share the voice of the customer and the persona within the organization. So we should know, who they are and their behavior and what they're interested in, and really try to shape everything around that. I think where it becomes an area that I've seen a lot more discussion on last year and this year already, it's about using AI and having data. And just going back to Andy's point, anonymizing that data is the way to make sure that you are being very, very secure with how you're using it, and also that you're putting privacy first, because we don't need to be putting customer names and date of births and all of that identifiable data into AI tools. And just being really cautious on how we use that data. And just remembering that, and I think it's really important for us to just always consider, imagine if this was your own personal data, would you still be happy with how it's being used in this way? And just really, being responsible with that. Reading up on legislations like GDPR, there are some great websites like the ICO, and they have some great templates in there. I agree with Andy, it's not the most riveting read. It's quite, it can be, quite full of legal jargon and things like that, but they have the 8 principles. And as long as you have awareness of those 8 principles, you can always then make sure that what you're recommending and what you're thinking about proposing is aligned to that GDPR in particular. I'll just very, very quickly just say it does get more complicated if it's a global organization because there are different laws in place there. So just having that awareness is enough to be able to help advocate that privacy first principle.
Thanks, Jenna. So a lot to consider, but it sounds, as well as the practical steps you need to take from both of you, it seems like there's an influencing piece as well to make sure your organisation or the client that you're working with understands the importance of it first. So yeah, fascinating. Thank you. So going to encourage you all to just take a moment to think about the skills that we've looked at and which excites you most and which do you think you'll find the most challenging? Maybe it's those big legal reports. That seems to be the least preferred option. So next, I want to talk about how we can overcome some of the barriers that you might feel in building the skills that we've looked at. So this is barriers to identify, and I think the first thing is If you're starting from scratch, it's thinking about how you can build confidence. I mentioned that confidence word earlier. It is really, really important that you believe you can do this. And 70% of career changers report imposter syndrome as their biggest challenge when starting a new role. As a coach, it's a conversation I have, maybe not on a daily basis, but definitely on a weekly basis with individuals that I work with. And it's about looking at steps that you can take to start to build that confidence. Don't start with maybe in a big bang way. Start with small wins that you can take. Think about tools that align with your current strengths, your transferable skills. For example, if you're familiar with email marketing, think about email automation. Shahana, how would you advise someone who's feeling unsure about taking their first steps into digital marketing?
I would say it depends on the person that I speak to. And I do speak to many on a daily basis that say, is my level and capability of, ready for this kind of career accelerator? And it just really depends on the discussion I have with them. But a lot of the times I do feel that people do feel that sense of imposter syndrome. And I think that the way that this career accelerator is designed is that it has that core focus on strategy and data analytics. So I think that's a big advantage, like really understanding the marketing space, because we don't really focus too much on the technical tools, because we look at how it ties back into strategy, how it ties back into data analytics. So I think that with that core structural foundation will really enhance your knowledge and your confidence with understanding the marketing space. I hope that helps. But yeah, I do speak to quite a few that do feel that sense of apprehension. But when I explain the course and what it's really about, that really reassures them and encourages them to, apply. So I hope that was helpful, Tracy.
Yeah, thank you, Shahana. Yeah, it's and I see as people go through the career accelerators, their confidence grows as they learn more and more and apply that knowledge, so they can appreciate, they can use it in the real world. It's not just the academic exercise of learning the theory. So yeah, I see that all the time, and it's lovely to see how confidence grows. One of the great things I enjoy about the work I do with 4Threv is seeing people at the start of an accelerator and see how they blossom and achieve their success at the end. So thank you. So let's look at your pathway to success. So, think about your marketing career. Any career is a journey. I always say that the role of a career coach is to walk with you on that journey. And this roadmap hopefully will give you an idea of how you can progress from the foundation level into leadership positions by building the right skills at each step. So step one is focusing on the basics, the tools and the campaign basics. And this is it's the foundation, it's the groundwork for everything else you do. So the more solid those foundations are, the more you've built that skills base, that knowledge base, the stronger you will be to then develop into the next phases. Mohammed, what advice would you have from someone that's at stage one and looking to break into marketing roles?
That's a great question. I would like to say something about what you were discussing earlier. Really, at first I was hesitant to join the program because I thought that I lacked some of the knowledge that is needed for this program. But the career advisor told me that if you organize yourself and if you have the passion to go into it, you will succeed at the end. I would like to share also that one of the most transformative and valuable aspect of the program was how it changed me to step out of my comfort zone, particularly in dealing with cross-functional teams. I'm from Lebanon, and most of the other peers and the cohort was from different countries. So this was something that was good for me. I remember facing a significant challenge when working on the employer's project. Team members were working in silos, and we needed to align our efforts to reach the goals and objectives. The program gave me the confidence again and tools to break down these silos, bringing everyone together around our shared objective. This learning experience has enhanced my skills in digital marketing and analytics. Building strategies grounded in data-driven insights was really amazing. My work before that, when I was working in social media, it was mostly built on assumptions and experience of trial and error. It wasn't really built on real data analytics that could help me take real great decisions and make the stakeholders stand by my opinion. So it was always, well, there's no ground for my what I want to do. Over this 6 months in the program, I gained invaluable skills from digital marketing fundamentals to crafting and executing successful campaigns, even leading a team in digital marketing department. The Career Accelerator really has prepared me to step into more strategic roles where I can not only implement what I have learned, but also drive a meaningful impact in my organization, or if I'm looking for another organization to join them.
Brilliant, thank you. And I bet having a meaningful impact means that you're getting so much more from your role, knowing the difference that you're making.
Exactly.
Thank you. And you've sort of neatly went through the stages there of the basic stages, and then stage 2 was about the data and artificial intelligence, that you talked about wanting to use that data more to create the smarter strategies and measurable results. And then stage 3 is really talking about leadership. It's then moving into that more strategic, more of a leadership or enhanced leadership role. And going back to you, Andy and Jenna, how can marketers who are at the mid-level roles prepare to step into stage 3 with the leadership opportunities?
Jenna, you go first.
Such a gent, Andy. Thank you. Yeah, so with the leadership side of things, it's really interesting actually, because I, in my career, never really received any leadership training until I was already a leader and had been one for a couple of years, interestingly enough. And I took responsibility of a global marketing budget and a global team, and had very little training to do that. And to say I felt overwhelmed at the time would be an understatement, but I took it on and made the best that I could, and then actually went through a leadership program within a year of being in that role, which was really, really helpful. But what I did do during that time, and I strongly recommend this as well, is to watch and listen and observe other leaders. Now, they don't necessarily have to be marketing leaders. They could be leaders of other departments, they could be in your current role, or they could be outside of your work as well. You know, and ask questions, observe what's taking place, take note of, okay, this is the type of leader I would really like to, I admire and would like to, you know, embed in my own leadership style. Or these are some things that I really want to try and avoid if I do become a leader. These are the things I'm going to be quite particularly sensitive to. Maybe you've been receptive of something in particular. You know, but also raise your hand. You know, if there's an opportunity to pitch in, if there's an opportunity to maybe lead a smaller group of people in a project, that's a great starting point just to build out your own confidence. And again, as I mentioned, it doesn't have to be within your current role. This could be outside of your role as well. To help build my own confidence, I started to create groups outside of work, like just common interest groups of running groups. And it just gave me more confidence to be able to engage with different personalities, but also to test out my own leadership style and try to increase that experience. You know, so observing is a really, really key piece, I think, for just gaining your confidence, but also developing your own leadership style. Andy, I'm sure you've got more tips to share.
Well, I love that last thing you said, and it's such a great opportunity. There's millions of people who have the same feelings you do. We're talking about being unstuck, and a great opportunity for anyone to form little groups. And that initiative is the beginning of leadership to create, an event or a mastermind group, or just to get people together or host a little happy hour. It's been amazing for my career to just do these little things and to just sort of be an organizer of little things. I love that. Thank you for mentioning that. Uh, on the topic of leadership, though, I think that this might be counterintuitive, but in marketing, like anything, the more senior you get, the less you're practicing your craft and the more you're just a manager of people. And the most senior marketers I know, chief marketing officers of big organizations, they spend most of their time giving PowerPoint presentations to other executives. Is that what you'd like to do? If so, there are high ladders you can climb forever, and that may be rewarding. But if you got into marketing because you'd like to be creative, uh, look at the next step up. And before pursuing a promotion, really ask, like, are you motivated by managing people? I personally am not. It's not my favorite thing to do. I love analytics and AI and making things and writing and recording and teaching, speaking, but I don't like to manage people. That's uh, not my specialty. So know yourself, know what you love, and pursue a path that gives you more of that. Sometimes leadership, well, there's a difference between leadership and management. Fascinating topic, another day. But sometimes that promotion may move you away from your passions, which is ironic because uh, the thing that we're all supposed to chase may not be the thing that in fact is the most rewarding to us personally.
Yeah, thanks for that, Andy. I couldn't agree with that more. I mean, when I talk to people about their career goals, I think there's an assumption they have to climb the ladder, and that's the only thing to do. But it absolutely is not. You can make your roles if you might want to specialize in a particular area. But so there's lots of different things you can do. But it's starting by understanding what you love, as you said, Andy, and stay with that. Don't automatically have to follow a path because you think that's expected of you. Success isn't always climbing the ladder. Success is having a career that you love and thriving in it. So absolutely, 100% agree with that. Also, Jenny, you said about leadership, don't wait to be a leader before you start demonstrating leadership capabilities. Find those other small ways where you can understand a bit more about your style. That running club, you might have realized what your preferred leadership style was, what worked, what didn't work, and that I'm sure helped you tremendously, when you climb the leadership ladder. So it is absolutely, don't wait to be a leader to then say, okay, what sort of leader do I need to be? And also, Jenna and Mohammed, two things that stood out for me there was you both talked about coming out of your comfort zone. And we talk about at Full Thread, we talk about getting comfortable with discomfort, because if you reach outside of your comfort zones, a little bit, you will grow as a person. You'll realize that you've risen to that challenge, and then you can keep on growing that way. So absolutely, 100% agree with that. So going to sort of encourage you all to think about where you see yourself with those steps. And what's the next step that feels achievable for you? And, think about how you can get there, the plans you can make. So with the path rather. So let's talk about some common challenges that you might face in building these skills. Sorry, I've just realised, I think it's passing over to you now, Shahana, is it? Or am I a slide too early? No, I'm a slide too early. Apologies. Sorry, I'm a slide too early. So let's look at the steps you can take. So first of all, immediate action. The other thing we talk a lot about is that Nike phrase, just do it. Action is really important in maintaining career momentum. And momentum begins with small steps. It's not that big leap to where you want to be. What's your plan of action to get where you want to be? So think of your action plan, like simple steps, but powerful ways to break through and keep that career momentum, move forward with your career. So of you, if someone had just 1 hour a week to invest where would you advise they start building their skills? Anyone?
Well, I'll tell you how I learned most of what I know about AI, which was to pay attention online, see who seems to be using it effectively, and to schedule short show and tell calls with other practitioners. There are 3 people where once a month I do a 15-minute call and we trade notes. That has pushed me up the learning curve so fast because everyone's experimenting in different ways. There's infinite use cases for AI. So just to do just short one-on-ones with different people. Hey, would you mind just a quick call? I'll show you what I'm doing. You can show me what you're doing. Just last week, I was at an event and this woman shared this fantastic prompt with me. I'm definitely going to be using that forever after. Uh, I mean, kind of random what it was, but it's very, very useful for me in my role. So that I think is good, just kind of the networking, co-teaching, support each other kind of thing, like Jenna mentioned, or mastermind groups, like form a little group. But also, when you have a question, just write it down and then go look for the answer. What X is the most effective at Y? That's kind of the format. And then if you're in analytics, if you can't find it, go to YouTube. Just focus in on that one use case. You don't need to click around these tools. They're too big. Don't explore without a goal. Focus on an outcome uh, and and drive toward that. Keep practicing and learning and memorizing and get that muscle memory until you're very good at finding that answer quickly. And then learn the next one and the next one and the next one. Analytics and AI, when used well, are both sort of answer tools. And if we and they, the use cases for each of us is different. So just try to practice at getting answers to whatever makes you more effective in your role using data. And then once you've mastered that, move on to the next one.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. And it's that step by step. Don't if you look at a topic and think, gosh, that's too big for me to do, therefore I'm not going to do any of it. Rather than that, have the sort of positive mindset and say, actually, I'm going to start here. I'm going to learn this bit and then that bit. Absolutely, 100% agree. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, solid advice there from Andy. I think also to read is so important. And I think what's also important here to outline is that we never stop learning in digital marketing. Like Andy's just mentioned there, he has his group and he's learning new ways to use AI tools and asking different questions and wanting to learn about different areas. And it's the same from my side. I'm reading something new and looking at new case studies and investigating something every single day. And that is so important to open your own mind when you're thinking about different ideas for campaigns, but also to come across those different topics that you can then share with others, much going to what Andy was talking about there. So reading is really, really important. Signing up to, things like Marketing Week and getting their weekly newsletter. There's lots of other newsletters available. Andy posts some amazing content on LinkedIn. You should follow him on LinkedIn. He does loads of different articles and case studies and examples, and there's lots of others that share that type of content as well. And you can start to see, okay, this is my interest area. This is what I want to hone in a little bit more on and understand. And then follow the people that are talking about those topics, and you start to get exposure to more people and start to grow your network, touching on what Andy mentioned there as well. Because networking and going to events, whether they're online or they're physical events, are really, really important in marketing as well, just to get that wider exposure to different ideas and how people are using digital marketing channels.
Yes, thank you, Jenna. And so I think it's thinking about in terms of identifying your next learning step. I think it's also about the practical nature that we were talking about, how you can incorporate that into small projects. And Mohammed, you touched a little bit before about the 6-week employer project that you did at the end of the Career Accelerator. How did that give you an opportunity to apply your skills in the real world?
Exactly. The employer project was a game changer for me. I worked on developing a comprehensive digital marketing strategy for, as I mentioned earlier, online tutoring platform And what made it particularly valuable was that it wasn't just theoretical. The team and I had to implement our ideas in a real-world context. The company was real, the numbers were real, the data was real, so everything was as if we're working in a digital marketing department. And we pitched our ideas and all of that and proposal. When working with stakeholders, real people, actually stakeholders are seeing real results from us. I quickly learned what works and what doesn't, and the expression of their faces, and where they felt something that was not what they needed. The experience was tremendously great. Presenting this proposal taught me that confidence in presenting and discussing my ideas and the team ideas, learning from mistakes and learning how to adapt strategies based on actual market responses. It challenged me to move away from relying solely on experience and assumptions. Instead, I adopted a structure approach: testing, research, competitor analysis, and using frameworks to build data-driven strategies. It was initially challenging to grasp all that and applying digital marketing frameworks, but through real-world case scenarios, we developed a clear understanding of how to craft integrated digital marketing strategies. This comprehensive approach builds both confidence in myself and in the team, and also credibility, making it easier to showcase our skills to stakeholders or potential employees in the future. Employers, sorry.
Thanks, Mohammed. And yeah, so I often get such great feedback after people have done the employer project. It's that word confidence you used again. It's being able to use all those things that you've learned and in a real world situation really, really helps with confidence, which then helps you market yourself because you believe it. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mohammed. The last one there is support and mentorship. I'm just conscious of time. I mean, I'm a massive fan of obviously coaching. I'm a career coach, but also mentors. I'm encouraging, all of you to go out and seek mentorship. Find individuals, even if it's on an informal basis, to help support you through this journey. You can pick different sorts of mentors with different skills, but it's really great if you've got someone that you can bounce ideas off. Obviously, as a career coach, I know the value of coaching to help bring clarity to what you want to do, to help understand what you love. I said before, it's about what you love doing, not what you think you should do. So it's plotting out that career path, getting that clarity of why you're going to be good at it, what your personal brand is, both now and what you want it to be growing into your career, and giving you the confidence to be able to achieve those things. So support and mentorship, absolutely. You would expect me to be a big fan, but certainly am. So think about those steps and what feels actionable for you today. So now let's explore how you can take those steps. And I'm going to hand over now to Shahana.
Thank you so much for that, Tracy. Definitely very valuable. So, if today's webinar has sparked ideas and inspired you, this LSE Digital Marketing Career Accelerator is here to help you turn those ideas into action. So our focus is on equipping you with immediately applicable skills in AI, analytics, and privacy, so you can make an impact right away, right? So we have course 1, the essence of digital marketing. So looking at optimization of channel strategies, understanding the consumer journeys, looking at data-informed strategies. This is what will be the focus of course 1. And then you will do a practical project that will implement your learnings on a more hands-on approach. So you won't be doing exams in this program. As discussed, there's going to be hands-on practical projects. Then you have the course 2, looking at data-driven digital marketing. This has more of a focus on the data analytics, looking at optimization of campaigns, looking at management, looking at data handling, customer segmentation, data storytelling. teaching you how to leverage that data in the marketing space. And then you would do a practical project to implement that. Then course 3 is understanding the leadership skills, how to be a leader in this space, how to adapt to an ever-changing environment that is marketing. This is what course 3 will really help you hone those skills in, as Mohammed had discussed with his positive experiences with doing this project, this course 3. Then you will do a creative project to implement that. Then you'll have the final employer project where you will work with a big company external to the LSE and getting that really hands-on practical experience. So everything that you've learned with data, that you've learned with strategy and leadership skills, you'll really be able to implement for the final employer project. So whilst you are doing all of this and having that hands-on approach, we do have the AI learning track, which is the live AI masterclasses that'll be run alongside the program, which will give you a really good insight into, tools and technologies such as generative AI. We also have, alongside that, ongoing career coaching support. So you'll have a career coach like Tracy helping you alongside your journey. That experience program support from a dedicated student success manager. And you'll also earn a globally recognized certificate from the LSE. So guys, I know we're conscious of time, we do apologize. If you are interested in changing your career or accelerating your career, please book a time with myself today and we can have a proper discussion on how we can really help you with your career goals and help you stop you feeling from stuck to acceleration. So thank you. Sorry, Tracy, is it on to the next slide?
Yeah, sorry, it was just sticking, but you should have the next slide up now.
All right, perfect. Okay, so now we're on to the next slide. So building those AI masterclasses. So, this career accelerator also features a dedicated AI learning track, as I mentioned in the last slide. So you as learners will receive 4 expert-led masterclasses. So what you will do, you will focus on real life case studies and have live generative AI demonstrations. So the focus of this learning track is building on the relevant AI skills you need in the workplace to really succeed and thrive. So essentially, it will be a great opportunity to earn your digital badge, improving your AI literacy skills to really make you stand out with your credentials. This AI learning track is really going to be reflective of the current market, what's happening now and what's going to happen in the future as well. So I hope everyone found this helpful. Should we go on to the next slide, Tracy?
You should have the achieving more slide now.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. So to achieve more, in 2025, we have something called outcome-based coaching. So, you would be receiving ongoing career coaching even after you complete the program. So there is, with the outcome-based coaching, we'll guarantee you 6 months of extra coaching even after the program is completed, which highlights the outcome nature of our career accelerator and how we are really focused on helping you achieve. This is not just about getting you a certificate under your belt. This is about really helping you accelerate in the career you want to be in. So, book a time with myself, to claim this offer, please book a time with myself today and we can discuss in more detail on how we can really help you in your career in digital marketing, essentially. So yes, book that time with me. It's on the chat. So you'll see it on the chat description. Book that time and we can have a proper conversation. I look forward to speaking with you all.
Shahana, well, do apologise. We have gone a few minutes over. There's a lot to talk about. We do have a couple of Q&A questions. Are people happy to answer those questions now quickly? So we have a question. I work as a team lead in customer support in a tech company. Do you think I have a chance to land into a marketing role? Just from a career coach perspective, we have an amazing variety of individuals who transition into a marketing role after the career accelerator. So as a general comment, it's about your transferable skills as well as the skills you'll learn on the accelerator. So absolutely from a career coach perspective. Anyone else, any comments? Okay. And how can the journey support me? How can the program support me in my entrepreneurial journey and strategize my marketing efforts from scratch, including getting to find first customers before knowing the target persona that well? That sounds like a long answer for that question to answer it correctly. Anyone want to take that?
Yeah, I was going to jump into that first one as well. Sorry, I was a little bit slow there to unmute. Yeah, so just for both of these, do we think you have the chances to land into a marketing role? You know, I would echo Tracy's comments there, but also we have other learners that are complete career switchers, and they have some exposure to digital marketing, some exposure to marketing, but they haven't necessarily maybe actually created a campaign or been able to use a digital marketing channel or got that hands-on approach. And they have successfully completed the CA, the Career Accelerator. So if you have a passion for it and you are able to commit to be able to create the assignments and the projects and go through the materials with the suggested learning hours each week, then yeah, I don't see why not. So definitely worth speaking to Shahana in a little bit more detail there, and maybe Tracy as well on the approach that you might need to take. Just on that second question, yes, we do. We cover, so as Shahana really greatly went through each of the courses, the first course basically sets out the foundations for creating a digital marketing strategy. And all of that is aligned to a case study based on a real organization, but it is a fictional company. And you have data and you have resources to use as if it is a real organization. And you could take what you learn from that and apply it to your own project, your own entrepreneurial business that maybe you're thinking about setting up. So it would give you all of the structure and all of the foundation to be able to apply marketing to your own venture, which some of the learners have also already done. And then the second course allows you then to implement those tactics in a lot more detail and look at things like customer segmentation and go through the real granular detail. And again, you can apply that to your own business or entrepreneurial idea that you have. So yeah, everything has been created so that you can apply it to any industry and any type of organization.
To add on to that, Jenna, I don't know if people attending our session is aware that the career coaching actually help entrepreneurs with their business goals and plans moving forward and how they can succeed. And I'm sure Tracy has some really good insight into that as a career coach. You know, career coaching is not just helping you land a job, it's helping you with your businesses, helping you with your campaigns, leveraging all the skills that you learn from, you know, this digital marketing career accelerator, how you can be successful moving forward. Career coaching plays a big part of that. Yeah, feel free to add on. Yeah, Tracy.
Yeah, absolutely. I've worked with a lot of learners who use the Career Accelerator to help them develop their business or start their own business if they've not already got an existing business. And it's about, again, the coaching helps them understand, test their assumption in terms of their marketing plans for their own business, their business plans generally, and sort of help be that sounding board to be able to guide them to be more successful. So it's not, we call ourselves career coaches, but actually we are career coaches, we're executive coaches, we're developmental coaches, we're business coaches. We've all got experience of doing those different areas, and you know, definitely got some real world examples of individuals who've used the accelerator to enhance their business. Well, again, apologies for the delay, but thank you so much for your input, Jenna. Andy in his absence, Shahana, and thank you very much, Mohammed, for joining us today. I hope you all found this useful. Please get in touch with Shahana. I believe the how to do that is in the chat. Shahana, is that correct?
Yeah, it's in the chat, so people can book that time there. Yeah,
book the time from the link in the chat. I hope you all found the session beneficial, and best of luck, whatever you do in the future.